Hi guys, I'm Max with Z1 Offroad, and today we're going to be installing the Z1 clearance light combo from Z1 Offroad for this D41. Let's get into it. The first thing is whenever you're doing anything electrical, good practice is to always disconnect your battery so you don't have any accidental arcs or anything. Always disconnect the negative side. If you disconnect the positive side and it touches the frame, it'll spark, so don't want that to happen. Just tuck that away. All right. So, what makes this different from our regular Raptor light set is that we have these side marker lights now. And the harness that we're gonna be using is kind of like a splitter harness, I guess you could call it. It takes the standard Raptor light harness and you plug your side marker lights straight into that. So no more rewiring, it's all off the same fuse. Try to make it real simple like that. So these are gonna be for our side marker lights. These are the side markers. These are the Raptor lights, the brackets, and the harness for the Raptor lights themselves. So this side is gonna be for your Raptor lights. See the plugs there. And then this side, we get to choose how we wanna route it through the engine bay, but you'll end up at your fuse box. We like to use the ABS fuse. That's what I'm gonna use today. Feel free to use whatever fuse you feel confident with. I like the ABS fuse because it comes on with ignition. So you're not gonna kill your battery if you just walk away from your truck. All right, so we're gonna put our fuse tap or add a fuse in our ABS fuse over here. These come pre-populated. There's a 5 amp and a 10 amp. So that 10 amp is gonna be the standard fuse for the circuit that already exists there. The 5 amp is gonna be what's used for our Raptor lights and side marker. I might need to get a tool of some kind to pull that fuse because it's at an odd angle. Here's our 10 amp fuse out of our ABS module. You can see it matches the amperage of the one that comes with the kit. So we're all good there. That feels pretty tight. So now this is optional how you do this. We recommend this corner of this fuse box right here, but you have to route this positive cable out of your fuse box. So I'm gonna get some snips and just cut a little notch out of the. So now you'll have to find a location to mount this grounded terminal. I'm gonna go with this guy right here because it's convenient, it's in the same place, it's an exposed metal surface. So we're just gonna undo this bolt, put the bolt through this hole in this terminal, and then send her back home. All right, so that is half of the harness. So now, it is up to you how you route this. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just make sure it stays clear of any hot or moving elements in your engine bay. So you don't want to dangle it next to your belt, for instance. You probably wouldn't want it, resting on a radiator or something like that. There's a few places to zip tie, so I'm going to grab some zip ties and just start tightening down. But the next step is these middle two. We can go ahead and put the lights in if we wanted, but I'm going to go in order. So this first one and this last one here are going to be what we plug our side marker harnesses into. And we'll have to route those wires too. So we'll get started on that. So with this side marker harness install, with the Raptor light install, we're going to be going into the front of the grill here. For ease of wiring, you can just pop this little cowling out. It's I didn't have a trim puller, so we're going to use a trim puller. So we're going to use a flathead screwdriver. All right, I'm gonna set those guys to the side for now. Looks like there's a few little Torx screws that are keeping this panel on. I'm gonna go grab a Torx bit. We'll get those out real quick. I've got a 2022. This is a Pro 4X as well. All right, there are teeth, you can see right there. There are plastic barbs with flaps that retain this little cowl in. So I'm using a flathead screwdriver to just kind of bend them up out of the way so this comes free and clear. I've got 2 more to do. Should just slide on out of there. You can take this all the way out if you need, or you can just leave it in. All we need to access to this area right here to be able to put our Raptor light brackets in. All right, so for this Raptor light bracket, so this side, this lip right here, is going to face up when it's installed on the truck. So we're gonna take our light, and it looks like it doesn't matter which way is up. I'm gonna do one of these. So we've got our light in the bracket, and that's the bracket in front of the light. So what we've done here is taken all of our Raptor lights and put them in their brackets, just kind of prepped them for the install. So you do that by installing the light into the bracket, putting these two nuts. These are studs, so it's really hard to mess up the direction. I don't know that you actually can. So you put these nuts on the studs, keeps the lights in place. And then I started these thumb screws. You can see they haven't come through all the way, but all these will do is keep tension on the spot where we're going to install these brackets. Each of these comes with a zip tie, and the purpose of this specific zip tie is to go through this loop right here, and then it'll help retain the rest of the loom when we do our routing. But we're gonna pause with the Raptor lights for now. We've got the truck on the lift, so what we're gonna do is raise it up. We're gonna take both front wheels off just for ease of access and pull our fender liners, and that'll give us better access to these side markers to get them out to replace them with these light side markers. You don't have to have a lift to do this. It's just ease of doing the job for me. You can do this on jack stands. I don't know that you could do it without taking your wheel off, so I recommend that, but you know, to each their own. All right, so this is the guy we're replacing with the light. So there's a few self-tappers that are all Phillips head. And then I think, yeah, we got some of these, the same plastic deal that kept this cowl in up top. So I'm gonna start with those because it's easier for me to get to. Oh, that one broke a little bit. This plastic is brittle, so got one more. That was the first one that broke. So it looks like there were 5 for me, plus this one right here makes 6 for the mud flap, but this one's a little different. So if you notice between the heads, those are different. So you've got 5 of these guys, one of these for the extra mud flap. So let's see, we'll start from the front. Let's set our lights on. So self-tapper, you want to be careful when taking these out, especially careful when putting them back in. They just have unthreaded plastic sockets that the threads of the screw grab onto. So they're not made to go in and out a whole lot, but for this it's fine. It's like a soft plastic grommet. There are 2 of them. Just be extra careful because this is a painted surface. So hey, that one came out by hand. See, this one will too. Nice. Didn't even have to use tools on that one then. Yeah, we're gonna need our 10mm. Yep, that's our last one. Count them up. 3 of these plastic ones, 8 self-tappers. It looks like some of them are different lengths. 6 of the long and 2 of the short. And then we had 6 of the plastic, or 5 of the larger head plastic rivets and 1 of the small one. So it also looks like if you want to take your fender liner all the way out, there are 2 more screws right behind this this bracket or fender flare. So mine just popped out. So on this side at least, I didn't have to take out the whole fender liner. It looks like I might have enough clearance to get the two retaining bolts out of this bracket without taking the whole thing off. Not quite sure yet, but we're gonna try and see what happens. That's just a 10mm. Again, be careful, this is a painted surface, so you don't want to scratch up your paint with your tools. There's the other one. So, 2 of those tiny guys, not too many threads, nice and short. They're also Phillips, I suppose, if you wanted to do it that way. Now, there are 2 teeth that keep this light in. So, you'll want to squeeze together these 2 teeth, this guy and this guy. So what you want to do, pinch them together so they go in like that, and then just push through. And there we go. We got our side marker out. And we're just gonna get this bad boy right in where this guy came out of. Just do the same thing. It's also got the same 2 teeth, so it'll locate itself, and then these should be lined up just to go right ahead and put those same fasteners we just took out right back in here. So I don't know, maybe you're like me, you like to leave the protective film on until the very last moment because you don't want to scratch it up while you're working on it. I'm gonna try and leave this on. I've kind of peeled it a little bit so it's not wrapped around the part. Make sure you put the loom in first before you try to fit the piece in, otherwise it won't fit. So connector goes through the hole, just like that. Now we can push it in. There we go. So you want to make sure this guy goes through the provision in your bumper for this protective piece. Nice and snug. All right, so we got our side marker light installed. It's not plugged in yet. We have not run the routing for the loom. We're gonna pop on over to the other side, do the same thing, see if it works okay, and go from there. So. All right, so we got most of the hardware installed for these guys. We're gonna lower the truck back down. We're gonna put our Raptor lights in, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is route all the looming. All right, so it's kind of up to you where you install these. They're designed to be installed in any of these front pockets. I'm gonna skip these two. So I'm gonna go here, 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 here for mine. Up to you how you do yours. So the way we install these is we already affixed our light to our bracket earlier. So all we have to do is put this lip over the edge that's you're about to see inside the engine, and then tighten these thumb screws down. So just gonna go on this lip, take a quick peek outside, make sure we're nice and centered. Looks good to me. So I'm gonna come in and tighten these thumb screws. They're knurled and they're large handles, so they're easy to grab. You don't have to use a tool or anything. All right, so I ended up pulling this all the way out. I just kind of finagled it around the hood latch release. I'm just gonna set it over here for now. Gives us some more space and room to work while we wire these guys up. So for me, see, it looks like there's a nice convenient pass through under the radiator core support and over into the front grill area. And this looks like an excellent place for a zip tie. For me, I don't think, yeah, this hole is not used. These three are used for those plastic tabs we pulled out earlier. So you don't want to put zip ties in those because then you won't be able to get this piece back in. But this hole is unoccupied. So we're gonna slip our zip tie down around. Oh yeah, it's plenty long enough. Just didn't pull it all the way through. We slipped our zip tie down, just send her home. I'm gonna leave that there for now. Here is where our side marker light integration harness comes in. So these middle two, like I said earlier, you can just plug those bad boys straight in. I'm gonna make sure we go around the hood latch release. We don't want it to be on top when we can be under. So these guys are done in a way. There's a lip, these are directional. So you wanna put the barb edge, the tooth, if you will, under the flange. And we'll cinch those up with some zip ties here in a minute. We're kind of just roughing things out right now. Now these outer two are where we're gonna use our Raptor light integration harness. So we're gonna go get that. The way this works is really simple. All we do is instead of plugging the Raptor light into the harness we have now, we just plug this into the Raptor light harness, and then we plug the Raptor light into this. It's just this little Y connector, and all that does is pulls power from the harness we've already run down to our side marker lights. So we'll go ahead and get that done. And then Raptor light harness, extension cable for the side markers, plug those in there. We'll do the same for the other side, and then we're gonna run them right down to our markers and then test everything. We'll be good. All right, gonna get our other end plugged in here. All right, so there we go. We have our Raptor harness and our lights all plugged up. We have to plug this guy into this side marker, that one into that side marker, make sure it's all tucked away nice and neat, and then we're done. Not really that hard. The hardest part, honestly, is what we're about to do. Trying to get the wiring down where we want it in a way that is easy to run and also doesn't interfere with anything. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna go right through here. If you look straight down, I can see daylight straight down through here. So I'm just gonna feed this guy through that hole and try to find it coming through the other end, and then we'll plug it up to this guy over here. We're gonna go down and under the headlight, essentially. We're here, we wanna go here. We're gonna go behind the headlight and around. All right, so what I've done is pulled it all the way straight through, right behind the headlight. And now what I'm gonna do is peel this fender liner back a little bit, see if I can get it all the way up to the light we're trying to power. See, all right, okay, success. So here is the guy that I just fed up. And this is the guy we wanna plug into. So there we go, we're connected. Just gonna put it in this hole, make sure everything's all flush. And then we're gonna make sure everything lines up before we go pushing stuff back where it goes. And it's probably a smart idea to make sure this is not around anything critical. There's nothing really that moves down here. There's no fans or anything, so you don't have anything to be worried about. But you wanna make sure that it's not gonna accidentally dangle out and get, you know, caught in your wheel while you're driving or something. That would not be good. So got everything plugged in on this side. We've got some excess that will probably just tie up somewhere neat. We'll go about that in a minute, but we're gonna do the other side real quick. I get my battery hooked back up. We're gonna hop in. We're gonna turn the truck on and we're gonna double check our lights before we put everything back together. Because the last thing you want is to be all the way through a job, put it back together, and then none of it works. And you gotta retake everything back apart, and that's annoying, so. All right guys, so we've got our side marker lights and our Raptor lights installed. We've got the combo harness, everything's wired up. It's working nice, so we're just buttoning things back up. Gonna throw the wheel back on, torque it down, and we're good to go. All right guys, so we're wrapping things up here. One thing I wanted to mention is there are a number of ways that you could actually wire this. The way we chose today was to use our accessory harness for our Raptor light. You could also, if you wanted, use your own fuse tap and only run the side marker lights without the Raptor lights, or you could use our limelight control module as your own positive negative kind of switch. A lot of customizability, a lot of modularity. You can really choose how you want to do this. All right, that wraps things up. If you're looking for the clearance light combo kit, shop now for your D41 Frontier at z1offroad.com.